curve. And joining us a bit later from the sidelines, Doris Burke. Eastern Conference battles always fun. This time it's the Cleveland Cavaliers intent on protecting home court. They went to Washington for their last meeting with the Wizards, and they came out with a win. That one gave them some daylight in the season series. They lead 2-1 coming into this one.
And guys, they could have won that game on the strength of their offense alone. It was that good.
And to do it on the road, too. I mean, with the way they just kept coming at them and coming at them, they kept that crowd out of the game the entire time. That's good work.
And now Washington's starting group. Nene down low with Gortat. All out there with buckets. And it's Butler in at the 3 spot. And LeBron asked who would be on his Mount Rushmore of NBA great, Steve. He went with Larry. He went with Michael Jordan and Oscar Robertson.
Well, you got to feel like he probably can sort of associate himself with the Big O. You know, the big body, the strength, the versatility. That's what Oscar was all about. That's what LeBron is all about. So nice to see LeBron's recognition of that era of the NBA.
Hard to argue with those selections. He also said he better be up there, too, and I would agree with that.
That was some skill there. Nice use of the bounce pass.
Wall passes to buckets. Outside Butler. They set the pick. Clock at 6. Pass to buckets. From 18 feet away. Cavaliers with the rebound. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And after that game, you look at the box score. Wow, look at the work they did at the free throw line, Clark.
And just as solid was the work they did to get to the line, Steve. Constantly driving the lane, putting pressure on defenders, and drawing fouls.
So it's Washington now, following the three-point attempt by Kyrie Irving. And there it is again. Nice make there from Buckets. Buckets got his 3rd bucket of the night. For Cleveland, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Here's Thompson. The shot no good. Now the Wizards take it the other way. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
And I think, Kevin, you know, they really showed how important it is to have a strong bench performance. You go out on the road, you can't rely on your starters night in and night out. The reserves have to contribute and help them out.
I think we definitely saw that, Steve, throughout the game. They were really tied together as a team. Didn't make any difference who was out on the floor. You'll take every road game win you can, and they're happy with that one. Guys, that time he went for the fancy finish for us there, man. That was sweet.
Wall passes to Buckets. First quarter of play. We're about 3 minutes in. Fader on the way. That's good.
And the story of this
incredible display of basketball.
And thank you, Doris. It was a performance that has to have their upcoming opponents terrified, Clark.
Well, I know this opponent should be terrified because there's a good chance the momentum he gathered that night carries right over into this game.
Well, some of it will carry over. That's inevitable. It's just a matter of how much. Now that is a quick bucket. Pretty good in transition.
That's right. That's exactly right. He loves when he gets the chance to get out and run. That's when he's at his best.
So it's Washington now. Seraphin, terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
There's the pass to James. He kicks it to Marion. Shoots from 12. That one rolling around and rims out. Wizards leading by 4. We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. It's Beal on the wing. Rebounded by Marion.
Well, Sean Marion, the Matrix, as they call him, possessing all the tools to be an elite defender. The wingspan, strength, and quickness. I think he can guard 4 different positions.
Here's Dellavedova. He had 10 points in the win against Detroit. Back to Irving. He dishes it to Love. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Great assist that time by Kyrie Irving.
For Washington, they've gotten only 1 of their first 4 shots in the second quarter to drop. Beal up top. He's coming off a 10-point game against Indiana.
Couldn't convert, but nice little 2-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip. Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
Now the story is points in the paint, Clark. I mean, they're getting point-blank shots every time down.
And Washington has possession. Sean Marion making his last shot. And here's a look at some of the most multi-dimensional players in the NBA. Not only can they pass, they can fill it up, the highest scoring point guards this season.
I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
Yeah, they're making the right play, they're working together, and they're just looking for the best shot they can every possession.
The shot's good from Buckets. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Stolen by Serafin. Padillo covered by Irving. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Just absolute domination in this one for Buckets. 12 points, and he's also been picking up some nice assists here and there, too.
Well, he's going to have to continue to play this way, Clark, because this offense thrives on his passing ability, and they've got it going right now.
The Wizards making a switch here. Nene's checked in. Now here's James, averaging 26 points a game. Love with the screen for Irving. Off the screen. That one's good, and the Wizards' lead is cut down to just 2 points in the bucket from Kevin Love.
Nice pass there to set that bucket up.
Yeah, guys, and that's 10 of their last 12 points now coming off of assists.
Outside Butler. There's a screen. Nene, right side. Shot clock at 6. Here's Padillo. Nice shot from the wing.
Protecting the basket the rest of the way.
And on the floor for Randy Whitman as we get into the second half. Padillo in at shooting guard. Nene down low with Gortat. Rasul Butler is out there with Wall.
Nene, a 6'11" Brazilian big man, strong and quick-footed with a nice touch. He's a quality two-way player. And for him, as it is the case with a lot of players, it's about health. You know, over the course of his 12-year career, he's missed almost a third of available games due to injury.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Yes, Kevin, LeBron James joining a younger team with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He said, "We're not ready right now. It will be a long process. My goal is still to win as many titles as possible, but what's most important for me is bringing one trophy back to Northeast Ohio. Our city hasn't had that feeling in a long, long time." Kevin, what a worthy goal.
Cleveland's last pro championship back in 1964, Doris. Thanks. Here's Padillo. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the way up.
His development with his three-point shooting, constantly working on his game, and he's become one of the big stars in this league by putting in the time and effort.
Clark, I'm guessing that wasn't the plan for the D on that trip.
And I'm agreeing with you there. Once they opened the lane up for him, that was a little emphasis on that finish.
Take what the defense gives you and then just power it home, right? Why not?
The drive by LeBron. And another miss by Cleveland.
And you talk about that internal drive and desire for Kevin Love. You see it from his physique to his skills, and most of all in his video game numbers, which are even more eye-popping than his real numbers.
Good point, Clark. Very, very good point.
2 shots.
And I think as much as desire, Love's understanding of the game plays a big role in it.
Everything is done to limit any sort of unnecessary contact. Here's what Washington's going with right now. Humphries comes in for Nene, and it's Webster in for Butler. And Wall kicks to Webster. Out to the right wing. The Wizards need to get a shot off here, and he gets it to go. And that's now 7 points for Wall.
Might as well just take it into his own hands and make that big lead even bigger. It's textbook basketball, just having their way down low.
Miller outside. There's the screen. Pass to Beal from downtown. That's good. Beal's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
Man, they are spreading the floor and letting it fly, really knocking it down from outside.
And I love that gunslinger's mentality, Steve. Playing to win as opposed to playing it safe. I call it prevent offense when you try to protect the lead. Let it fly, let it fly, let it fly.
From outside the arc, and again, Washington with the triple.
Three-point line, so I look for him to continue to search for shots out there. Well, few would have predicted back when Kevin Love was drafted 5th out of UCLA in 2008 that he'd become the superstar player we see today. He's transformed his body and expanded his game year after year.
Down low, here's Thompson. Dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
Boy, the deeper we get into this game, the more offense we're seeing.
And that goes for both teams, Steve. Everybody firing on all cylinders right now.
That one finds the mark on target from Buckets. Buckets got 21.
He is setting this place on fire, fellas. His shooting has been off the charts.
Irving kicks to LeBron. From 11 feet away, it's rebounded by Buckets. Buckets got 6 rebounds now in the game. To the middle, takes it from 10. Again, the Wizards good for 2.
You know, they've been able to depend on his offense all game long, guys. He's drained a lot of shots out here.
And between now and the horn, Steve, the ball should be in his hands as much as possible if they want to continue to build this lead.
Irving. Out to Miller, and out of bounds as the Wizards gain possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Washington leading now by 10. There's a minute 40 left in the 4th quarter. There's a good screen. Butler from outside. It's rebounded by Cleveland. Love's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Miller, the pass to Irving. James against Nene. Miller outside. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
I thought he'd make that one. And that's his range, and the defense nowhere to be seen.
Here's Padillo. Another one falls for Washington.
Well, clearly we will not be witnessing a spirited comeback tonight, albeit as exciting as that would be. And I think this was an excellent all-around performance for the Wizards.
They made the most of their free throw opportunities.
They sure did, Kevin. They shot much better, and that improved their confidence as a team. It was a team that believed they would make those shots, and that's just what they did.
And so they'll be advancing their win total to 42 games.
And guys, you could really almost sense it in the air tonight that they were going to come out and give it everything they had to try to even up the season series 2-2 against the Cavs.
You look at the stats and you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Buckets. Now, there wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every opportunity he got.
I'm not sure who was supposed to pick him up, but somebody's going to get an earful from the coach for leaving him that wide open.
Nene, right side. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
That's his first personal foul.
And so it's Cleveland with it. Dellavedova kicks to Love.
It's a good thing he showed up today because without him, this team would be in big trouble.
With the pass.
Here comes Beal. Here's Padillo. Soft touch off the glass. And the Wizards lead by 10.
And the crowd here, of course, not happy about the outcome. But you know what? We saw a team tonight that came in prepared to the win.
You know, they were determined to steal this game, and they showed it, Steve. Played harder and got the job done.
Jones, that's for 2. Used the shot fake to create the angle, but couldn't get it to fall. And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.